Hi.
We've only done this show about 480-ish times, and Paul still sometimes forgets that the mics are a little hot when the intro reel is rolling.
I also had that, at some point it was 10:30 and I'm like, oh, I got to go get ready. I'm kind of in the middle of writing some stuff. And then I lose myself and you ping me to do the show. I'm like, it cannot possibly be 11, but it is.
On a Monday.
Here we are.
Do you have a good weekend there, Mr. Threat?
Yeah, I went to a train museum.
I saw that.
Yeah, I almost sent you a text message, but I figured you'd probably just see the thing, and there was no reason to rub it in. But
I was very, very jealous.
Yeah, I'm sure you were. It was actually really good. I spent, actually, so if you listen carefully to the background noise of my home, you hear that? No, you don't hear anything. Neither do I, because my father is gone and it is blissfully quiet in this house. And I got to tell you, the weekend was largely about decompressing from that.
Wow.
How about you?
I finally got the Black Ops beta to download.
Mm-hmm.
I tried for multiple hours. I had to change the DNS server on my Xbox, and that fixed
just to get it to actually install.
Yeah, there was a massive thread on Reddit that was people trying to triage this thing, and what everybody just said, change it to Google DNS, and it will work. I did, and instantly started downloading. And kumbaya.
This is important just so people understand, because that beta ends, I think, today.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like we had a ton of time to actually play it.
Did you play it?
Yeah, just a little bit. I'm a little alarmed. I don't mind, Battle Royale as a game type is a great idea. I have no problems with it. I'm a little confused by how they're identical.
Yeah.
Like the Black Ops thing, you jump out of a plane, you glide, I guess parachute, if I remember correctly.
Wingsuit.
Down.
Yep.
Seriously, it's just, there's no other way to set this thing up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But it seemed good. I mean, Call of Duty is Call of Duty. I mean, I think that the play style of the multiplayer games that I've been playing for many years now, it does lend itself to this kind of thing. And like I said, when I first saw this stuff, I thought this is a mode of Call of Duty, not its own game. And so I think it will be reasonably successful, I guess. But the more important thing, I think, is actually your opinion of it, because you actually do play these games.
Mm-hmm.
So how does this compare for you to, say, PUBG or whatever?
I kind of hated it.
Interesting.
So it's, to your point, this is going to sell really well to a certain demographic, and it's going to be very good. To me, this game feels much more like Fortnite than it does PUBG.
Yeah.
And I really don't like Fortnite at all.
You have to explain to me, I see the similarities between these games. I think some of the advantages that Fortnite has is just around graphics optimization and speed and so forth. I don't like the builder aspects of Fortnite. Yeah. To me, that doesn't make any sense. I'm here to destroy, not to create. It's been my life's mantra.
Yep.
From the beginning. So what do you mean? But you prefer PUBG. So
very much so, yeah.
And why? What's better about it?
I think because, to me, the Black Ops game is a lot like it's Black Ops just on a larger map. It's still very quick and almost too fluid gunplay. The tactics are lost. So when you play PUBG and you're a squad of 4, it's really calculated about how you're moving across the map, how you're running around. Games can take 20 to 30 minutes. And on Black Ops, I believe the map is much smaller. It only takes 5 minutes to run across it, as PUBG, it could take probably 20 to 30 minutes to run across. So it's just it's that classic Call of Duty. It's very, very fast. And I don't think I like battle royales that are fast. I like games where it's like a squad lands in a town, you try to take the town, then you try to move from village to village, as opposed to Black Ops where you just run around and shoot.
Okay. So I'm going to say, based on what you just said, that this is a battle royale game that will appeal to fans of Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
And this kind of speaks to one of the central debates in the shooter community over the years, and historically it was like Call of Duty versus Battlefield, right? So Battlefield was a slower moving game that typically occurred over much bigger maps, and I never liked that personally. Although for Call of Duty, there are some biggish maps over the years. On every year it's different, but
Yeah.
I've actually enjoyed some big maps within the context of Call of Duty as well as smaller maps, but. I do like the faster, frenetic style. I think of Call of Duty as like a release. Like I could be working and writing, and I'm a little stressed out, and I can kind of turn to the console and play a couple of quick matches. There's no continuity to it, right? I don't care beyond. The game starts and ends, and and I'm out.
Yep.
And I don't. It's fine. The other thing you kind of touched on, which is interesting to me, and this is probably also a Battlefield versus Call of Duty type thing back in the day. For multiplayer games, for team-based multiplayer games, Call of Duty is interesting to me. I've always kind of laughed about this internally. Like I play team deathmatch or hardcore team deathmatch. To say that I could give a crap about my team is an understatement that is even hard to express. I will willfully work to undermine the people on my team in order for me to get ahead. What's that? Like, also in real life.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, not because I'm not playing the game right. There is no reason in team deathmatch to benefit the other players on your team, other than vaguely this notion that maybe we're going to win. But the games that when I actually dominate a match, I could score 50% or more of the points all by myself, and we're probably going to win. Like I'm personally care more about my personal stats than my lifetime win-loss record. Is probably a little on the negative side. But my KD ratio and the other metrics you might use to measure your success are very high because once again, like for example, in the current Call of Duty game in hardcore, you can kill people on your own team, and the other versions you can't. So you shoot through them; nothing happens to them. I like being able to kill people on my team. You can only do it twice. If you do it 3 times, you get kicked out of the match, right? So there's a kind of a delicate thing there. But you can have situations where someone, like you shoot down a guy who's got a care package. Some other guy from your team comes running in from the side. He's going to steal it out from under you. I can shoot him, and get the package myself as God intended. So it is it's a different style of play. You described, I'm going on and on, I'm sorry, but you were describing the sort of notion of team gameplay mechanics. And I'm just sitting, I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah. Like, you mean working with other people? What a concept.
Well, it's not even other people, it's friends. Like there's probably a group of maybe 4 to 6 people that I've been playing with, I think, honestly, since Call of Duty 2. Modern Warfare, or the original Modern, somewhere around that aspect. And my game type favorite has always been hardcore search and destroy. That is, which is
so it introduces team mechanics, right?
It uses team mechanics.
Talking about objectives and
one life, just like in PUBG. So it's that game style lends itself to be PUBG. If you're looking for an arcade shooter, Call of Duty is going to be a great game. That battle royale style. It's not so much military simulator. Not that I'm trying to put camo paint on my face and sit down in my basement.
Oh, it's not. It's military simulator. My God, are you kidding me? I don't know that this game qualifies me to be anything other than a dick in real life. But like, I think it's possible that PUBG and Fortnite today may be what Call of Duty and Battlefield were back in the day. I mean, not that these other games are not still popular. Call of Duty is a juggernaut of its own kind, but it's very clear that battle royale games have reshaped the gaming market, and maybe I'm not going to be a big part of that. I'm okay with that, but I'll keep trying. As things change, there's new maps and new, PUBG. You must have seen the latest crazy news about PUBG on Xbox One. Like, seriously, like they're literally detuning the thing temporarily. I'll pay attention to it, but I just never. I don't know. I feel like I'm not making this transition.
Yeah, don't worry. The world will leave you behind, and we'll be better off for it.
I do, very eagerly, as it turns out. Yeah.
Other things that happened this weekend. So I got a tip. I think it was on Thursday or something like that. That hey, Microsoft is going to build a black Surface laptop and a black Surface Pro. And doing my diligence, I pinged some people, and somebody came back and said, "Hey, yes, absolutely, and the black one looks fantastic." And so I wrote it up on Saturday, and then the website that we all visit every single day, mysmartprice.com. So I'm not even making that up. Somehow got a hold of this image, which granted, I have no idea where they got their image from. I have seen the black Surface laptop. It's very easy to do in Photoshop. But anyway, so they put this together and they're claiming it's a real thing. Very well could be. The images that I've seen, by the way, do not have USB Type-C on them, which is very alarming.
Yeah, I don't remember where I came to this. Maybe it was the same site, but I looked at this myself, and that's what they said, that the port situation was identical to the current devices.
Mm-hmm.
And there's two interesting things to this. First of all, it's easier to do colors in Surface Laptop because it's not made of magnesium.
Right.
So they have, I think it's aluminum, but it's not painted. It's like anodized, whatever, they color it basically. And so you could scratch the color off, which was a problem with the first two generations of Surface devices. Remember, they were black. But the Surface Pro is magnesium, and Microsoft has not done color on magnesium since Surface Pro 2.
Mm-hmm.
Or color on Surface Pro, I should say. Was that made of magnesium? I don't even remember.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
So.
It scratched off,
or whatever they called it.
The scratching problems are terrible. So this is two different things. Applying black, like I said, to the aluminum chassis of the laptop is a relatively straightforward affair, and you can picture where that would look really nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious about how that works on the magnesium device because this is something they literally walked away from.
Yeah, I wonder if they would go back to. I have no idea. I don't think they would go back to aluminum, but maybe they do, and maybe that's how they solve it.
Right.
Who knows? Because you got to remember, they're doing a big device update next year called Caramel. I can never remember how you pronounce it. Which is going to have which is going to do. The bezels are going to go away. I mean, that's where they're pushing. That's what they're pushing towards with that update, and so I don't know if they could do that with magnesium or not.
Oh boy. Surface Laptop would be improved immeasurably by the addition of a USB-C port. And I don't mean replacing anything, just add it, The single USB port is one of those weird constraints that I've never understood, especially on a laptop. On the tablet, there's arguments to be made, whatever. I still don't agree with it, but whatever. There's no excuse for that on the laptop. Just add that port. It doesn't have to be Thunderbolt 3. I mean, just add that second way of doing something. Add the ability to add a USB-C dock that powers the device with one cable. But
yeah. So we will see. We will see. We don't have to wait too much longer here, and get to see. Hopefully, I mean, my sources are saying that there is a Black Pro, so that should be good to go.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yep. And then Paul, last thing here, your email experiment. You're going back to using Outlook.com.
Well, maybe. So the truth is, I've only written about this one thing. The background is that Google is killing Inbox, which is the email app, web and mobile that I love and I use every day. I love it. And I have until March to kind of figure this out. And there's all kinds of options. The most obvious one would be to use Gmail. And by the way, the reason I'm on Google-based email is that when I came to BWW, right at the end of 2014, we had to come up with a domain name for the site very quickly. I don't know if you've ever tried to get a domain. They're all taken, the good ones. It was not my idea to use my name on the site. I still disagree with this completely. I really wish we could change it. Maybe someday we will. I don't know. But it's kind of it's a brand of sorts. But I mean, I just don't like it. But paul@thurrott.com is a domain, or thurrott.com is a domain I've had for decades. Paul@thurrott.com is a secondary email I was using. And I would switch it around. I had it on Windows Live Domain at one point with Hotmail. I moved it over to Office 365 at one point. I had it over on Gmail. Gmail, before there was a G Suite, it was sort of like it was with Microsoft. You could just kind of add a domain and it was Gmail, but with a domain. And I was just testing it. It was just for testing purposes. But BWW uses Gmail.
Yep.
It just kind of, here we go. So here we are. It was not my point to make up, I'm going to go with Google on email, But the benefit of it is that Google has had this secondary email interface called Inbox, which was sort of an experimental thing. It was simpler, cleaner. I mean, I love this thing. So I'm going to try different things. I'm working with Outlook.com, which was recently improved with a new version. Outlook Mobile, which has always been really good. And on mobile, it honestly looks a lot like Inbox did. Gmail to me is as ugly and convoluted as Outlook is or has been, used to be or whatever. It's full of UI and controls, and I've actually been experimenting with simplifying that. As it turns out, you can do that as well. That's would be honestly the easiest approach to stay with Gmail. I'm going to look at third-party apps. I know you're still struggling with your what's the name of the thing? The email program they're taking away from you.
Newton.
Newton Mail is going away, but there are other email applications, right, in the store, external to the store. I'm experimenting with those. I've kind of sucked it up a little bit. I'm experimenting with Outlook 2016, soon to be Outlook 2019. I don't like this application. It's kind of a pig, and I mean that in every sense, size, literal size, the UI complexity, and so forth. But this year they're adding the simplified ribbon to that. I do have access to that, and if you can cut back on the UI, and you can kind of arrive at something that's kind of simple looking. And so I never say never. I mean, who knows? So I wrote this one up because moving back to Outlook.com and moving to Outlook Mobile would be a simple thing for me because I like these products, right? And it's been a tough thing over the past couple of years to complement something like this when I'm not actually actively using it every day for email. But I've always really liked these things, and they're good, and they are good, and I've been using them at this point for over a week. I would imagine. I don't remember exactly what day, but actually they work great. You know?
I quite like the Outlook mobile app. I really like. I just wish that they would take that exact app, make it large for a 4K display, and ship it as the mail app. But they can't.
Do too.
They can't seem to do that yet.
Outlook.com as a web app that I use with Chrome, right? You can save it to the taskbar. It kind of looks like an app. It's doable. I like it. I mean, it's not quite inbox, but in some ways, there are parts of it I like better. I mean, it's an attractive app. The kind of icon style and the graphic treatment, whatever it is, and you can make it lighter. You can make it small. You don't have to have all the UI. It's actually not terrible. It's better than Gmail. As much as you can do to trim back the extraneous crap in Gmail, there are still things you can't remove from the screen, which I don't like. And it's busy, but I don't know. There's a lot of complexity when it's email services as well. Outlook.com is an email service. You can kind of link to other accounts. So you're pulling email from elsewhere over IMAP in this case with Gmail. You can send email as Gmail, but you're not really collecting the Gmail there, right? Like it's not an email app. It's an email service that has a web app. And so, when you use Outlook Mobile, if you wanted to, and if you only use Gmail, you could use Outlook Mobile just with Gmail. It's literally a Gmail. It can be a Gmail client. I wish I had that thing, like you said, on the desktop. I would be ecstatic if I could have that. That would be wonderful. Yeah, maybe I should look at that on Chrome. Not that I use a Chromebook, but I mean, if you used a Chromebook, I guess you could use Outlook Mobile, the Android version on Chromebook. I should see what that looks like, actually. I'm curious about that now.
Yeah, I actually would be too. Going to upend our entire operation so we can use Outlook Mobile.
Folks, we're switching to Chromebook. No. I'm not switching to anything for an email app. But I mean, it's interesting. It's an interesting thing. I really, you hit it on the head. I wish that thing was available right here. That would be wonderful.
This is a very random aside, but we were looking at schools. Paul knows this last week. Was that last week? Yeah, because my daughter's going to be ending first grade, trying to figure out where we're going to send her. And the school we were at was using all Windows 7 PCs. And I was like, does that mean they're not cutting edge and I shouldn't send my daughter here? Or does that just mean they're smart and they're using something that's stable?
Yeah, I think it's the latter.
I think so too.
It's more typical for, you'll see a lot of Chromebook and stuff. Just be happy they're not using XP,
Yeah. Yep. So you got anything else for today, Mr. Thurrott?
My cat just pulled the light switch and turned off the light, and now it's stuck on her foot. God damn it. I can't get it off her foot. I'm sorry. Okay. You're an idiot.
Your cat meow.
Yeah, because I pulled her claw off of the light switch. Could you go somewhere? Anyway, no, I don't have anything else other than a cat homicide that's about to occur. How about you?
No, I don't remember their names off the top of my head, but I tweeted out the winners for the Surfers Go giveaways from the Petri and Thurrott annual surveys. So those people have been notified. If it's not in your inbox, and I can guarantee you if this is news to you, it wasn't you, and I apologize.
I didn't even hear about this. So who do you even know right now who those people are?
I do. Let me find my tweet. Where's somebody? I can find out my tweets.
When did you tweet this out?
This morning. They were contacted on Friday.
I'm just curious if I know the person.
Rich Persons, at Rich Persons.
And then which one is that?
I don't know which one was which. And then the other person was David Dietzel. I think he was Petri. So Rich was probably throughout, I would guess. Maybe. I don't know. But those are the two winners from the...
Nice.
Yep.
So what do we do? Just ship them something, or do they have to come to us?
Yes, your Surface Go is right here. No, I actually...
Here it is. Come and get it.
I increased the Surface Go purchase rate through Microsoft.com, and it's just being shipped direct to them.
Good.
Yeah. So there you go. Well, that wraps it up for today, folks. We'll be back here tomorrow doing whatever it is we're going to do tomorrow. Have yourselves a wonderful Monday.